today I was saying there were actually fewer people attending this meeting because there are people on mission trip. There's like, I think more than 10 people on mission trip. There are people traveling. It's the year end and all, right? But it's just wonderful to see um, all of you who are here. It's going to be a little bit more relaxed, right? We've got the kids together with us. So message is going to be simpler, but I think deep at certain levels, but enough for the children to understand. And for the adults, I think sometimes it's always good to learn as children. It's always good to just go back to some basics, right? Um, wait, there are house rules. Wait, hello. When I'm talking, you have to listen to me, right? Okay, all right, great. So this is so wonderful. Okay. I could never do that to adults, right? Okay. Okay. So today we are very happy. Mr. Tan and Miss Tan were actually not related to each other, but now, yes, part of the big family of God, were actually baptized today. So let's give them a round of applause, right? Yeah. Um, our prayer is that if you want to be baptized, if you find that you want to walk with God, then do let us know. We'd be happy to walk with you and to get you on this journey of baptism, right? Mind the kids, right? The kids will make a little bit of noise. That's fine. That's the way kids are, okay? They won't be absolutely still. That's absolutely fine, okay? Who laughed? Okay, all right, okay. So this sermon is actually inspired by Jenny. Jenny is somewhere around. Okay. Yeah. So on Tuesdays, we do a class called Love Letters. In Love Letters, we've actually studied a lot of the Bible. We've covered the whole New Testament already. And we're going into the Old Testament. We've covered Genesis. And then we're doing a character study. The character study is called Insignificance, right? I don't know how you translate that, but that's fine, right? Insignificance. So we look at people who come from very insignificant backgrounds and how they grow insignificance, right? It's a play on the word. And one of the characters we were looking at, a rather minor character in the Bible, with only 4 chapters of her life, was the lady called Ruth, right? So Jenny volunteered in her very Jenny, full of gusto way. I want to do this, it's a woman, I can relate to her. So, okay, sure, Jenny. So Jenny did this session over 2 weeks. I listened to her teaching over 2 weeks and it really inspired me to share this sermon, right? So parts of it I borrowed from her teaching. Parts of it are inspired by God directly, but I think what Jenny, when the parts which I borrowed from her, um, I think the things that I never imagined and I could never imagine about, because this lady called Ruth is a widow, right? Jenny herself struggled with that journey. She's come through with it victorious, bringing up 2 wonderful girls. One of them was giving the most excited announcements I've ever heard. Must have been the Ching Teng, right? Okay, yeah, yeah. Uh, and she gave me a different aspect of looking at this woman. So Elijah, what's on my next slide, right? So I've decided to abandon looking at my own slides and just go with this. Okay, so we're going to start from here. Keys to victorious living that you see from the book of Ruth: vision, values, and venture. Elijah, what's the next one, Elijah? Can you remember? Vision, values, venture. 3 V's. All right. Okay. Next one, introduction to the book of Ruth. The book of Ruth is about a lady called Ruth. Well done. Okay. So Ruth was a young lady. She was actually married to a man whose mother was Naomi. Now, before Naomi had met Ruth, she lived together with her husband in Bethlehem. Bethlehem is where we know the hometown of where Jesus was born, right? At Christmas, we go to Bethlehem. And they encountered a famine. So she and her husband and her 2 sons left Bethlehem to go to a foreign land called Moab, right? So when they went to Moab, they settled there. Their sons also married foreign women. And one of the foreign women that they married there was Ruth, right? So they had 2 sons. They married one woman each. So they had 2 Moabite women as their wives. Then problems came. There was another famine over there in that land. The husband passed away. The older son passed away. And the second son also passed away. So all that was left in this family was three women. So this older lady, Naomi, she told her daughter-in-laws, I think there's nothing more that I can give to you. It's best you just go back to your homes. I'm going to go back to my homeland. So they had a long discussion. There was lots of tears. The older daughter-in-law basically said, okay, okay, I really want to be with you, but if this is what you think is best, I will go. Actually, can we just move down a few where that read this part? Just go down first. Go down first. All right, go down. One more. Yep. And then this is what Naomi told her daughter-in-law will read. Look, said Naomi, your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her. So this older lady didn't want to hold her daughter-in-law as well. She said, I release you, go home. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Can you read this with me, verse 17? Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me. When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. So this is the story that we have, right? Okay. The story that we have is this. There is a girl called Ruth. She's lost her husband. Her mother-in-law tells her, I release you. You just go and lead your own life. You don't need to be with me. You don't need to be saddled to look after an old woman, right? But this young girl actually told her, it doesn't end with the very famous verse, where you go, I will go. We sing that song, right? Where you go, I go. Where you stay, I stay. But we never ever come to that line and says, where you die, I will die. And there I will be buried. Right? So we look at these situations that people get themselves into, or is it life's problems that life just brings around problems for people? Yeah. Sometimes when we go to school, do we always get to sit with the person that we like to sit with? No, yes. Everyone likes you, that's why it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Right. Some of you shake your heads. Is the person that your partner in school, is it somebody that you like? Yes. Okay, scholar answer. We are packed based on register numbers, so we got no choice. It just happens to us. We get to sit whoever we sit with. All right. Okay. So life's issues, right? Right? Bad things happen. And we can complain. Okay. We can seriously complain about it because Singaporeans, if you take Grab or you take taxi, usually how does the conversation start? Wow, 现在东西很贵了. Start already. Wow, inflation, this expensive, that expensive, cannot buy. And then the whole story goes on. And then we complain. We are a country of master complainers. And often we wonder, we ask ourselves, why is it Ruth wasn't complaining, but Ruth chose to stay with this old lady, walk back with her to a foreign land, right? What makes Ruth behave that way, right? Ruth had this thing called vision. Yeah. Uh, so this, I tried to ask for volunteers, but these people refused to do this for me. So I've got to be my own volunteer. All right. Okay. Gabriel, you're supposed to help me, Gabriel. Yeah, come get the chairs for me. Come here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Gabriel, can you get me two chairs? Yeah. We have to get army boy to do army things like shift chairs. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Jillian, can I get one more chair, Jillian? One more here. Okay. Thank you. Don't worry. I've practiced this. It's quite safe. This is what happens when we, because you don't help me, so I have to do myself, right? Okay. This is what happens when we have problems. We sit down, we complain, we can't get up. We're just wondering, why is it like that? Life sucks, right? I look around, everywhere it's just this, out here. I see also cannot see properly also. I don't know why like that. People down there having fun, but just ignore me, and this is my life, right? This is what people who are in problems, when they suffer a lot of problems, they tend to feel that we're beaten up. After a while, it gets even worse. It's not just, sorry, I don't know whether people on Zoom can see me, but then after a while, it gets even worse. It gets like this. I just can't make it anymore. That's it. I just give up. Right. And that's it. We just, but, but when we have vision and we choose to have vision, uh, sorry, Flynn, can you help me? I think my leg cramp. Can you help me out? Ah, I think I need somebody stronger. Gabriel, are you around? Like, no, stay around, Flynn. Stay. I need some help. Somebody needs to pull me up. And then I come out, I come out of the level that I was at. And that's where I began to see above my problems. I find a solution to the problems. I can walk through the gaps. I can move the problems because I have a newfound vision. But if my position is always on the floor, letting the circumstances dictate what I see, right? Then I will always be facing problems my whole life. And I will never get out of problems. Gabriel, can you move my problems away? Thank you. Okay. Gabriel, sit in front, Gabriel. You deserve a front row seat. Okay. Now, back up to my slides, right? Back up to the first one where we skipped. Is it this one? Yeah. So vision is a clear sense of purpose and direction based on faith in God. Can you see this insect? Can you see this insect? What plant is this? Venus flytrap. And what is the insect that is there? It's going to called lunch, right? It's kind of called lunch for the Venus flytrap, right? But he can still find a way out and he can still fly out. Often life always looks like this. Sorry, Caleb said this was my self-portrait. Yeah, because I got those red eyes, right? Yeah. I focused on, I focused on, I got this particular insect, it's a fly, right? There's a reason why I picked a fly. Because a fly has compound eyes. A fly can see really in different directions and he is aware of what's going on, right? So even in the midst of all this problem, he can still get out of it because he has vision. But if our lives, right, in our lives, if all we are is just focused on the present circumstances, like me on the floor, just if I'm just there and I just want to be there, I will never be able to see, I will never be able to be lifted up, right? To have that faith to see, to step out into the promises that God has for me, right? Am I going at a good pace? Okay, because your daughter said speak faster. Okay, okay, right. Now, what's my next one? Just gonna help me out here. All right. Now, if you have spent a lot of time being told life is just like that, law, suck it up. Yeah. It just happens to you. It's going to be difficult to actually believe that God wants good things for you. Okay. I purposely use these particular colors for you to find it difficult to actually see the words. They were done on purpose, right? Because sometimes when we are down there and we can't see that vision and we can't find that faith, that's how God's word looks like to us. Blended in into the circumstances, just a little bit confusing, right? We need to see God's plan beyond the present circumstances that we're in. Okay, this part maybe not so interesting for them, all right? But I don't know how many of you invest in the stock market, okay? And I'm not giving you stock tips. You want stock tips, you will look for other people who do much better with stock tips, right? I'm not a trader, right? But I know this is what happens. When the stock market goes up, meaning like all the share prices start to go up, what happens to people? People will start talking to each other. Everybody wants to buy shares, correct? And then the stock market goes higher, right? Then When the stock market comes down, right? Everybody will, what will they do? They will sell. Now think about how dumb it actually is. When you go to the market, do you buy things when it's more expensive or do you buy things when it's cheaper? Right? But why is it with the stock market, people do it opposite? Because people are so fixated on their present circumstances. They cannot see the trend beyond that. All they can see is today this is happening. That means forever it will be like that. Right? And that's not vision. Vision in God's kingdom is to be able to rise up to see that God has a plan and God has a track record of more than 3,000 to 4,000 years with the Bible at least. All right. Uh, and with that track record, you can remember his goodness. You can remember his promises. And that's where you make your investment decisions. And what investment decisions do you make? You make your investment decisions of time. You make your investment decisions of effort. You make your investment decisions of money as well. Where do you choose to sow into, right? I look around the room, I can tell you a lot of people who sow their money, who sow their time into a lot of things of God. But I'm not going to mention them because they would rather that I keep that quiet, but I do know. Right. And sometimes when we think about the third point about this, about vision, sometimes when we think about vision, we think vision is like, I can see all the way. I know that when I am 80 years old, this would have been my life. I know everything along the way. I've seen that whole journey already. But vision often doesn't look like that. Often, what vision simply just looks like is just one step. I just know that I need to make this step. I just need to know that I make this step. And that's what Ruth did. Ruth didn't know. All right, I'll give you the end of the story, all right? Ruth is whose great grandmother? Sorry? Derek? David's grandma. And David is whose great grandfather? Jesus, right? So this is Ruth. Ruth is don't know Jesus how many generation above Jesus, all right? Ruth didn't know that when she made that commitment to follow Naomi. She didn't know, wow, one day I will be the king's great grandmother. She had no clarity of that. All she knew was that this woman whom she called her mother-in-law loved her, probably showed her what it was like to walk with God, and that was good enough for her. So she kept her faith, and she just took one step, and she took one step, and they went all the way to Bethlehem. Today, if you find you are struggling with issues, right? You are looking 20 years down the road, it's going to be like this. Some of you who pray for your kids, we prophesy over them, prophesy all sorts of things over them, wanting them to be this, this, this. But actually, maybe if they just went to school on Monday, it'd be a good thing. You laugh. I've got teenagers as kids, all right? So sometimes when they just go to school, it's like, God, it's a good day, all right? We give thanks. Yeah. Yeah. We just need that one step. We just need that vision to take that one step in the right direction. And that's enough. Okay? So that's the first one, vision. How do you translate vision in Chinese? 愿景. Okay, 愿景. Okay, I learned. Okay. Next, Elijah. So they walk, one step after the other. They walk back to Bethlehem. So guess what? When they walked back to Bethlehem, the people saw Naomi. Wait now. Who knows the story of Ruth here? Who said me? You want to help me? So what happened when they went back to Bethlehem? Okay, try. Who went to work? Did the mother-in-law go to work or the daughter-in-law go to work? Mother-in-law went to work or daughter-in-law went to work? Daughter, can you give her a round of applause? That's the absolute right answer. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She reads her Bible, can you tell? Okay. So the daughter-in-law went to work. What did the daughter-in-law do? The daughter-in-law actually, it's kind of like begging. Okay. She followed the women around. So there were different, there was like wheat and grain and all that. So they farm, right? So it's harvest time. So she couldn't pick because that's not her land. So after those people picked already, she would then just pick the leftovers. Yeah. Almost if you think today, sometimes there are people who actually go and just pick the leftovers. I don't know whether you've seen that. I've actually seen that at Bukit Batok. Some people have no food and they just pick the leftovers that are left for behind for others. I've seen that, right? One of my most disturbing sights actually uh, is seeing people dig for food in the trash. And it's in Singapore that it happened. And it just made me puzzled that that happens, right? So she was using this word called gleaning, right? She was just taking the remainders. As she was taking the remainders, the owner of the land, right? This is the part where I think Jenny really emphasized that he was handsome, he was good looking, he was rich, tall. What else? What else, Jenny? Was it what was the discussion on? Tall, dark, handsome, yeah, man, right? Rich, yeah, right. And then he owned the see, that's why it's different when you read the Bible with a woman. They find all these details, you're like, what is that? Has to be what? Yeah, okay, right. Okay. And then this tall, dark, handsome man saw this woman that was actually picking up the leftovers. And when she was picking up the leftovers, Elijah, can you put the slides on for me? After she was picking up the leftovers, he said to her, right? So Boaz said to Ruth, my daughter, listen to me. Don't go and glean in another field and don't go away from here. Stay here with the women who work for me. Watch the field where the men are harvesting and follow along after the women. I have told the men not to lay a hand on you. And wherever you are, and whenever you are thirsty, go and get a drink from the water jars the men have filled. And Ruth's answer was, and then she bowed with her face to the ground. She asked him, why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me a foreigner? Okay. Um, Israel, at that particular time, was actually quite deeply, I'm trying to look for the right word. They were ethnically conscious. They were very conscious as to who was Israelite and who was not Israelite. Okay. This woman, right? One, she's a foreigner already. So she's an outcast of society. Two, she's a woman. Don't stone me. It's those days, all right? She's a woman. Three, she's a widow. Four, she's got no children. She would be at the bottom rung of that society. But this tall, dark, and very handsome man saw her from afar and he started speaking to her. Right? Let's go back. What did he say to her? He said, Elijah, go back, Elijah. What did he say to her? He said to her, continue harvesting here, continue gleaning here. I will actually protect you. Now, her response, okay? Men, I ask you, is what do you think about her response? Next, next. Her response was she bowed down with her face to the ground, all right? Bowed down with her face to the ground. The carpet's not so clean. I'm not doing that, all right? So and in those days, there weren't carpets. It's probably out in the field. It's muddy and all that. So her face to the ground. Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner? What would your response be if you were Boaz and this happened? What would your response be? Help her up, right? Not just help her up, right? But your heart feels like, oh, now read the Bible from a man's perspective, all right? Oh, so sweet, right? And you want to help her with all your heart. Now think about if this was Ruth's response instead. You mean you still want me to work and glean in your field? You're so rich. Can't you just give me what you have? After all, I'm poor, what? Why can't you help me? What if Ruth had done that? What if Ruth had done that? Boaz probably wouldn't be tall, dark, and handsome anymore, right? In our eyes, right? Now, so often, right? One of these things that when we get into problems, when we get into difficulties, we forget what our values are. Yeah. Our values define us. Yeah. We often like to say we are children of God. I am a child of God. What does that mean? When I say that these are my children, it's not just biologically these are my children. Okay, other than the DNA which they have of mine, right? They carry my values. They carry the same values that we hope that we bring up our children in this way, they will grow up in the same way, right? That's what we impart to our children. And when we are children of God, what we have is as our identity is the values that God carries himself. This value which he demonstrated here was honor. In coming back to that home country to look after her mother-in-law, she demonstrated this value of loyalty and commitment. Yeah. Loyalty nowadays is in short supply, right? Commitment, I got time, I help you lah. See my schedule lah, right? To find people who will come Monday and Thursday to give tuition to the kids, to find our own youth who will be prepared to do that time. And I just want to give a shout out to the guy who was playing the cajon just now, all right? So the guy playing the cajon is actually doing his O levels. He's still in church, he's still serving, and he knows that God is actually going to multiply his time, right? And that's the belief that that's going to happen, okay? Yeah. We won't ask whose father he is, right? Okay, yeah, whose son he is, right? Yeah. Okay. Whose son he is, yeah. Okay. Whose son, whose father, we don't know, but we know. Yeah. So honor unlocks opportunities. Honor unlocks blessings. Just think about it this way. When somebody gives us a lift, okay? So let's say we take a lift from somebody, they send us from one place to another, right? When we get out of the car, what's the right thing to do? Thank you lah. Siang kiam gong thank you lah, right? Don't say this, right? Wow, why your car aircon so hot? Next time, can you buy bigger car or not? You know how old already, knee cannot bend. No? Yeah, I cannot sit. Yeah. Imagine how you would feel if you were the driver of the car. Or worse still, get out already. Ah. Then see his whole car shake. Japanese car, bo pian ma. Not shaky, right? But I mean, come on, we know all these things. But sometimes when we get angry, we just lose these values. And values keep us on this direction. So if you want to open up blessings, and we're not just talking about blessings with God, we're talking about blessings with other human beings. It's about honor, it's about respect. What's the opposite of honor and respect? All right. I couldn't find one English word. I just had to use this, all right? It's let's check and put it up. Yeah, next one. Next one. It's not an entitled mentality. I'm not entitled to these blessings. I'm not entitled to these things. I just know that when it happens to me, I'm just so grateful, right? So Ruth had this wonderful conversation. Actually, maybe the kids want to pay attention. Do you want more presents from your parents? Do you want them to give you more, what does it call it? More device time, is it? More screen time. Do you want more screen time? You don't? Tears to my eyes. You don't want more screen time? Okay. Please take away her phone. Okay. Okay. Who wants more screen time? You got more than enough, is it? Okay. All right. So this is what it means to be in the abundant life. They have more than enough screen time already. So it doesn't inspire them at all already. Okay. Yeah. But imagine if a kid wants more, something more from their parents, what would they actually do? They'd actually learn how to talk to your parents, right? Okay. Um, Now this is a little bit manipulative when it comes to honor. Okay. Dylan, can you come here? Borrow a while. Borrow a while. Just a while only. Just a while. Okay. So, okay. So example, okay? Dylan has exam on Monday. Okay. Example, he doesn't. He really don't have, right? Don't have, right? Yeah, okay. See, I know, okay. He doesn't have exam on Monday, okay? But Sunday night, okay, at 12 a.m., his favorite football team is actually going to play a match. And yeah, and he wants to watch it. But he knows if I find out, I probably won't be so happy, right? So Dylan is very intelligent. Dylan will ask me, Dad, do you know they're playing on Sunday night? Do you think we should watch it together? Hmm. Then from a straight no, it becomes a dilemma for me, right? But if he chose to do things behind my back and he chose not to honor me as his father, things will get really, really difficult, right? So he's a wonderful and intelligent boy. Just brought him up just in case you didn't know who was the one playing the cajon. All right? Okay. So in difficult situations, look for vision. Be able to be lifted up to find that vision, to be able to see. That's faith. All right. And then what guides you with your actions? Values. One slide back, Elijah. One slide back. Sorry. What are values? One more. Godly principles, all right? Upholding godly principles in our decisions and actions. So important, okay? Especially honoring people. Yep. Last one, and I'll do something with the kids. I have volunteers for this, right? Hello, Leila. I got volunteer, right? No, or change your mind. Beth, are we still doing this? In a while? We do? Yeah. Okay. All right, okay. Chapter 3 and 4, all or nothing. Okay, now you got to pay a little bit of attention because there's some there's something that sounds it's long, right? There are two parts to this. Okay, so Boaz likes Ruth. Ruth tells Naomi, actually he's quite nice to me. He even asked me out for dinner, but didn't go on a date together. Other people were also there. It was like, I don't know, group date, right? So they just sat down, they ate together. After the meal together, she went home and told her mother-in-law, he's quite nice to me. You know, he's done all these things. Because she even brought the leftover, she tapao already. She ate already, she tapao and bring back to her mother-in-law. Correct? Correct, right, Jenny? Right. Okay. Then the mother-in-law gave her this idea. Now you got to read this because this is actually in the Bible, okay? One day, Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, they needed to emphasize, it's already chapter 3, but they had to emphasize that this is their relationship. Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, said to her, my daughter, I must find a home for you where you will be well provided for, right? So Naomi's mindset was not for herself. Naomi's mindset was actually to provide for Ruth, to make sure all was well with Ruth. That is also honoring other people. She wasn't so worried that she needed to be taken care of that she forgot all about Ruth's welfare. She still wanted to take care of Ruth, right? Now, Boaz, with whose woman you have worked, is a relative of ours. Tonight, he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash, because usually last time they don't bathe so often. Okay. So she says, go and bathe. Put on perfume and get dressed in your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor. That's the work area where Boaz was going to be at. But don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying, because there are other people around in that room, all right? Then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do. I had to read this to you. I didn't want to summarize it because you just need to see that this is actually in the Bible. What was her mother-in-law telling Ruth to do? She was trying to tell her daughter-in-law to make herself look attractive, right? To a man who was not her husband. Yeah. Now, we all scratch our heads, right? What happens if you were Ruth when this was told to you? What do you think you would do? Okay. What will happen if Ruth is caught? What do you think will happen in that day and age if Ruth is caught? Let's say Boaz wake up, then he shout, she's trying to do something to me and I don't want her. She's not a good woman. What do you think would happen to her? So it's all 进猪笼. Yeah, okay, similar to that, but 犹太人不吃猪肉，所以没有猪笼. Okay. uh, they would have basically killed her, right, for being an adulterous woman. But this is her response. Next. I will do whatever you say, Ruth answered. So she went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law told her to do. So she bathed, she put on perfume, she put on her best clothes, she hid in a corner, she waited for her time. Now, I really don't know how that happened, but she managed to do it. And then finally, when he was sleeping, she went to sleep at the man's feet. I almost think of like a cat, right? at a man's feet. And then he was startled. When he woke up from his sleep, he was startled. Who is this? Who are you? Right? And then she said, I'm Ruth. If I find favor with you, can you share a little bit of your blanket with me? That's effectively what it was, right? But share blanket doesn't mean other things happen, all right? It was just simply a symbol that he would take her under his cover. That was all there was to it, right? Um, and long story short, they do get married. But before they get married, this man actually does something quite amazing. He knows that he's not the closest relative to her. So in their time, only the closest relative can actually take care of a widow's family. All right. That's like the first relations. So he actually calls a town meeting and looks for the guy who is the closest relative. And he tells the closest relative, so do you want to buy over Naomi's land? And the guy was like, yeah, I think I can buy over Naomi's land. And then he tells, oh, if you buy over Naomi's land, you also have to marry her daughter-in-law. And then he gets shocked because she's a foreign woman. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her, because it will also, if he has children with Ruth in their time, their children would actually inherit, the first child would actually inherit the property of Naomi. It wouldn't, and he may even worry that the children that he has with her will share in his property and then dilute his whole portion of his inheritance, all right? So the guy said no. But Boaz took a big chance, all right? Just the way that Ruth did, in order to be able to marry Ruth. So you have vision already, right? You have faith, which drives you to have that vision. You have values, which allows you to make the right decisions. Then there will be these things that will come. There will be opportunities that come. When opportunities come our way, right, we can be very afraid. We can not take these chances, or we can actually take this venture. Elijah, next slide, Elijah. All right. And faith will always require us to Elijah, can we go back two slides earlier, Elijah? One more? Then back down one more. Sorry, forward. Some more forward. One more. The bridge one. Sorry, I missed it. Okay. Faith will always require us to take risks. Okay. This is what it looks like. Gabriel, sorry, can I have you again? Can you help me stack chairs here? Okay, can I have your attention, please? Oh, hurry, here. Step. Okay, step. Okay, step. Uh, Caleb, can you help so it's faster? Come. Can you guys get out of the way? Because you're going to get hit. Step. 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 Okay. Come on, step. 7. No, just take from here. Just take one more from here. Okay. Don't take that one. Don't take that one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Okay. So this is a really, really simple experiment that we will do. Okay. Um, Hebrews chapter 11:1 tells us what faith is. So what is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, but not seen. Okay? Do you believe there's something good inside? What is it again? Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, but yet to be seen. Do you know why Leila knows that there's something good inside? Yes, all right. So we went to the shop. But and I also have a longer relationship. For 3 weeks, we've been having dinner together every Saturday. After dinner every Saturday, Leila, what do I offer you? Ice cream, right? So she knows when she hangs out with Uncle Ben, she gets ice cream, right? So that's been our relationship. So if I tell her, I know they're not interested in the sweets, I think. Are you guys interested in the sweets or no? No? You're so shy. Okay. So this is what you need to do. And what is Hebrews 11:6? What's Hebrews 11:6? I have it on my slides, I think, at the earlier part. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Read this with me, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. Not just that God is around, but God actually wants to reward people who seek him. Okay? So, I don't know. Beth, you're not interested now? You were just now. You told me what to buy. Which one? Which one? Okay, I'll tell you what. You get everything that's in the bag, okay? You get everything that's in the bag, but it's not so easy. You have to jump. I'll just be fair, right? How tall are you? Around this height? Okay. You're about this height. You have to jump your height to here, and then you can have it. Want to take on the challenge? Would you want to take on the challenge? Okay. She says she wants to take on the challenge. All right. All right. Okay. So, nobody has ever done this before in church. It's very dangerous. Don't do this at home. All right. I'm a trained professional. All right. So, okay. All right. So I used to take off my mic, right? So I'm going to help you out. I think maybe we take out our props, yeah? In case you got some stringy stuff inside. So, wait, 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 wait. Look at it. Look at the Bible. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. God is not pretty much believe that he exists and that he rewards those who believe. So what is supposed to do to get the reward? Come on the block. No, you're supposed to flag with the other side. Ready? Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Then she's made it across, right? So she's made it across. So she tells the girls, "It's easy. You can say it's easy. You can
It's
do it.
easy.
You can do it."
You can do it.
Right? And then she has a testimony to share with other people because she's gotten her breakthrough. Could she have done it on her own? Probably not. She needed a little bit of help, right? So who wants to try now? Me. Oh, okay. Okay. But this time got no sweet. Just jump. Is it okay? Oh, okay, okay. It's just see now the fact that you just do it becomes exciting. All right. Okay, now I help you down. Okay. Oh, okay. You sure no sweet is okay? There are 3 packets. I was gonna give one to each of you. No, okay, okay. So come, let's just do this with them. All right. Okay. think it is impossible to meet God because anyone who comes to heart, believe, yes, worship, actually exist. What? You have one house before, right? You can share the suite with all the people over here, right? Yeah. Well, I was not going to take them down. You can share. Can we hear the people from the I'll do it for once. Take out one by one, take out one by one. Very, very easy. Very easy. It's heavy, like, I know you do Pilates. So just bear with me, okay? Finishing up. Um, this is why, this is why, this is why the sweets had to be given. Wait. The sweets are not for you. Remember, I said it's for sharing. Say it's for sharing. And then there were some of you who said, I don't want the sweets, I just want to jump. And that's what life often looks like. Okay? Okay, we'll let them sort that out first, okay? I think you forgot to do something. You didn't say thank you. So often when we go on this venture, when we have opportunities, we tend to believe that nobody else has done this before. Only we are the first ones to do it. Actually, after we do it, we'll find that other people have done it before. Talent Beacon is not the first church plant ever. For 2,000 years since the birth of Christ, right? There have been many, many church plants. Right? We are unique in our situation in some ways, but we are not unique in every way. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wait. I've got to. Hello. Hello. I got to finish my message. Okay. Okay. Um, one person's breakthrough benefits the other people in the room, and that's how God's mercy and grace works. When one person takes the risk, just like when Jesus died on the cross, that's the mercy that gets given to everyone else because he took that faith, he took that step. And so often we may get the vision correct. We believe that God is a good God, God's going to help us through. We may even get our values correct. But when the opportunity comes for us to exercise our faith, we don't take that step. We don't take that venture because it's got to do with the way we are built. For many of us, we come from very comfortable upbringings. Taking risks is not something we want to do. But so often, faith is risk, right? Faith is risk. Yeah. Um, but if we always do same old all the time, You're not going to get that breakthrough. When God gives us this opportunity, all right, the guy probably looks afraid that this bridge is going to break. I'm not sure whether it will, but he takes the chance because he will then have the right to tell other people, I've crossed that bridge. In the same way, we can struggle with many things. We can struggle with many situations. But when the opportunity comes up, do you take it? Do you jump at it? And do you say, I want it? Right? Um, I don't know what kind of examples I can give you, but I know in your lives, especially if you are getting older and older, when we look back at our lives, we think of missed opportunities. We think of could have, would have, should have, and to borrow Britney Spears were the last words of the fool, right? Um, that's that's so sad of our lives. If when we look back, it's about what I should have done, what I could have done. We need to live a life where we've tried it. Tried it, not tried everything that I wanted to try. I tried it because I saw the vision. I believe that God is good, and this is something that I know He has planned for me, and I go after it. And for them, when they were jumping, the excitement was to be able to jump in that excitement. The thing that they were looking for was for the sweets, correct? They wanted that reward. What do you think God is able to do for us? If let's say we were children, and maybe some of you don't like sweets, but who doesn't like money? Don't put up your hand, right? All of us to some extent like money. Imagine if we ask God for money, do you think God can give us money? God can give us so much money. Yeah. God can give us so many things, but will God give it to us all the time? No, because if I'm a good parent, I won't give them sweets all the time because I know it's bad for them. I can give them on occasions, right? But what am I trying to do with them with all these things? I'm actually trying to develop a relationship with them that they will actually trust me and they will know how to say thank you and they want to hang out with me, right? And that's God's perspective when He's walking with us, when He's asking us to take that step of faith. He wants to walk with us. I'll close with this story. There were 10, okay, okay, all right. There were 10 lepers. There were 10 lepers that Jesus prayed for. Yeah. All 10 got healed. All the 10 lepers got healed. Uh, Joanne, lepers ma feng ping, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they, yeah, um, they all got healed, but only one person came back to say thank you to Jesus, and Jesus was upset. He says, "Why only one person came to say thank you?" In this whole journey that I'm talking to you about, of these three things, right, on about unlocking, uh, I guess the keys to a victorious life: vision, having the faith to believe that God has something better for us, even if it's just one step at a time. Having the right values. Yep. That means mirroring what God is doing, reflecting what God is doing. We do this to others as well. Venture when the opportunities come, we take the opportunity. Actually, actually, you can remove God from all these things and you can still find that success in this lifetime. When you read the book of Ruth, they never once prayed to God. It never ever says God orchestrated all of this. And hand on heart, right? I can tell you, there are good people who embody all this, right? They don't give up, right? They treat people respectfully. They take the opportunities when they come, and they're not Christians. So it could very well be a motivational talk today as well that I could be giving to you. Yeah. But what makes the difference is this. In this world, we look upon success as having more money, maybe having a happy family, maybe having a problem-free life, no worries. That's a lie. Huh? There's no such thing as a life with no worries. Huh? The moment you start school and the exams, there are worries already, all right? So, but what God draws us through victorious living is a closer relationship with Him. It's a relationship where He's telling us through all these difficulties, I am with you. Through all these difficulties, I am here for you. These things are really like cookie crumbs along the way, right? So that you can come close to me and walk with me because I've got something so much better for you. A relationship with God. You know, this wonderful girl over here, right? Has been an example for me. She's not had the easiest childhood, right? She looks after her sister as well. Um, she serves actively in church. She does our QR code. She looks after all our youth. Yeah. She's like the mother of our youth. And she struggled with not having a dad. Yeah. I can't explain what happened to her in her life, right? I can't explain that. I just know that every time that I look at her, I'm inspired to live her life, right? That just honors God. Okay? And that's her mom who taught me these lessons, right, in the book of Ruth. Yeah. So this keys to victorious living, if you're not a believer, you can take this as a motivational speech, right? If you just see beyond your current circumstances, you treat people correctly, and you take the opportunities when you come, you will find success in life, guaranteed. Yeah. But what it is for us as followers of Christ is that all these things to victorious living allows us, it's God's way of allowing us to know who He is, that He loves us, He wants to reward us beyond this lifetime to walk with us. And that is so precious to know His presence. It's not just to get the sweets, it's to be able to be in a relationship with Him. Okay. Uh Disha, you want to close? No? Yeah.
Okay, sure. I've been asked to close. Maybe let's just take some time to think about the message and pray. Okay.